It's back! It's back! It's back! It's back! It's back! It's, oh, thank you. It's back! It's back! It's back!
Start spreading the news.
It's back! 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 It's back!
What's back? Ranger Radio's back. Listen live to all the Ranger football games on YouTube. Just like Inside Rangers Football on Facebook and get the link for this week's game. Go Rangers!
Welcome to Inside Rangers Football. As you just saw, our live coverage will continue again this Friday when Smithson Valley takes on Canyon on Rangers Radio. I'll have that for you here on our YouTube channel. I'm Brant Freeman. Along with me is the head coach of the Rangers, Larry Hill. We're going to preview the Canyon game coming up, as well as our weekly segments of Little Men, Rangers trivia, senior moments, all that coming your way. But first, Coach, recapping your district opener this past Friday, a 42-16 setback against Steele. Very good football team, not one that needs help, but I know that the 4 turnovers really stood out as a detriment on Friday. Now that you've had a few days to evaluate the game, what was your overall takeaway from last week?
Well, we were disappointed with how we coached and how we played. You don't want to be careful when you say that because it makes you sound like you're not giving the opponent enough credit. Steele's a very outstanding football team and certainly deserving to win. However, we were disappointed. We felt like we could have performed better than that. We didn't. There's no excuses for it. We just didn't get it done. But the takeaway is 7 days later you got to play another one, and we get a chance to do that just like all the district teams do.
What were some of the positives you took away from the game?
Well, we kept fighting for one thing. You didn't see our players hang their head. You didn't see them quit playing hard. They realized that we're kind of going through some struggles, but yet we kept playing hard. That was one thing. And then, I thought we had some bright spots on defense. Some guys step up in roles that they hadn't been playing, and so we can grow from that a little bit and distributed the ball around to some different guys on offense. So, there's always something good that you can find.
All right, so now you played 5 games this year. You're 4-1. You've hit the halfway point now of the 2015 season. As you evaluate your football team, what are the strengths and what are the things you need to work on over these last 5? Well,
I think our strengths is our work ethic, our tradition, our chemistry. Players get along well. They're easy to coach. They're fun to be with each day, and that's not a given. If you've done this for a long time, that's usually the exception. Most of the time, you got a lot of crisis, a few problems you got to snuff out. So I think that's a strength. Certainly the play of some of our skilled players on offense. Whether it's throwing it or running it, catching it, has been good. We've begun to get some things going in the kicking game in terms of returns, kick returns, and that sort of thing. Defensively, we've had to move a lot of people around. We're still doing that some, but I think our team speed on defense and our recovery speed has gotten better.
I know it's early in the week, but how's the team response been since last Friday's game against Steele?
Well, they're disappointed, as I said, the next day, and but there can't be any lingering effects. We've had a good week of practice. We anticipate we'll put our best foot forward this Friday, knowing we're up against another good team. But in this league, you can't spend time gloating if you win. You can't spend time pouting if you lose, because there's another good team coming right at you.
All right, Coach, I'll tell you what, at this time of the show, let's now take a look at the film room and take a look at your plays of the week from this past Friday.
Let's take a look. This is a turnover our defense generated early in the ball game. Jeff Savard, senior outside linebacker with a circle around him here, is going to make an interception on a great anticipation play. As the play unfolds, you can see the quarterback is flushed out of the pocket, moving toward the sideline. Jeff, coming from the wide side of the field, reads that, makes a break on the ball. When the ball's thrown, he undercuts the receiver, picks it off, goes up our sidelines, and moves the ball down inside the 20. You can see it from the rear just a little bit better. Jeff is actually off the screen just to our left. You can see him poking into the screen here. We get good pressure from Josh Ernst, a senior defensive end. Pressure in the quarterback forces him wider, and wider, and then right before he goes out of bounds, makes him go backwards as he throws the ball. Then Jeff undercuts it. You can barely see that there. Comes up the numbers on the hash. So a good play caused by a couple of different defensive players. Also another defensive play, another senior, our defensive end at the top of the screen, Steele Slaughter. Circle indicates where Steele aligns initially. You'll see his initial move up the field, and then he makes the hard turn around the offensive tackle and gets a sack on the quarterback. Plays off the block, quarterback tries to evade him. Steele uses his quickness and gets him by the ankle and gets the big sack. From the rear, you can see Steele. You see the cut block by the offensive tackle. He plays it off with his left hand, gets good pressure, draws a bead on the quarterback. As he spins away, gets just enough of his ankle to get him for the big loss. One of our touchdowns is featured here on this particular play. Derek Hausler, our senior wide receiver, at the bottom of the screen is indicated. He's going to make a double move on the cornerback. You'll see as the play unfolds, he'll go at him and then in. And then after he goes in, he goes back out. Fools the corner just a little bit, not much, and the ball is dropped in beautifully by Josh Atkins. Derek does a tremendous job of getting his feet down in the end zone, and we get the touchdown. From the rear, you can see it from a slightly different angle. See more of the pass protection. There's the pump fake by Josh getting ready to happen. You can see the block by all 5 of our offensive linemen. There's the pump fake, the throw. He's covered fairly tightly. The ball comes dropping out of the sky just over the shoulder, and we get it in the corner of the end zone. And those are our plays of the week.
All right, thanks, Coach. We have more to come on Inside Rangers Football. Up next, our senior moments at Smithson Valley.
Let me ask you a question. Do you need a video for your business? Huh? The bears poop in the woods? I guess that's a yes. Your video can be seen anywhere, at any time, and by anyone. So, what do you think of the video, Nana?
It's off the hook, honey.
Mind blown. I heard it was very expensive to make videos. Not at all when you hire Wick Productions. Do you know how easy it is making a video with Wick Productions? As easy as taking candy from a baby. So there you have it. Success is at your fingertips. Call Wick Productions today.
This is not wire. This is fiber. It's at the heart of the GVTC Giga region.
Ready?
Okay.
Call today and ask for a gig, which is up to 1,000 megabits per second internet speed through the GVTC Giga region. Unlimited long-distance phone service, 24/7 home security monitoring, and free whole home DVR with our HD TV service. GVTC, just plain smart.
Welcome back to Inside Rangers Football. Our preview of Friday's game against Canyon's coming up, but right now in our show, it's time to kick things over to Emily Turner with this week's Senior Moments.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brant. Boys, we've been doing this long enough. You know what to do.
We know. Text our mamas.
That's right. Text your mamas. All right, so I'm here today with Thailand, Dion, and Huda. So Thailand, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor.
Yes.
I want to see if you can do something for me.
What is that?
I want you to make me a paper airplane.
Just put me on the spot. Just wait, bro. I got this. Watch.
Watch him knows. Thailand, when is the last time you made a paper airplane? I saw a little bit of struggling going on.
I think last year.
Oh, who was that? Did you make it in class?
Yeah, I think in physics.
Oh, did you make it in physics? Who's your physics teacher?
Miss Galbert, she was the best physics teacher ever.
It's so good you were making paper airplanes in your class.
Yeah, they were for her.
They were. Well, let me see how it flies. Dion, I have a question. If you had to choose Hulk or Iron Man, who would win?
Hulk. Come on now.
Hulk.
What? Hulk would win.
You see how jacked that was? You already saw it in Avengers 2 that Iron Man would win.
True.
Really? Because
True. Iron Man knocked him out, man.
Now, does Hulkbuster count as Iron Man?
Yes.
It still counts?
Yes.
All right.
She even knows.
Are y'all impressed that I know about Hulkbuster?
Yes.
Tell me
Yes,
you're impressed. Thank you. Just saying. Huda,
Yes, ma'am.
if you had one wish, what would it be?
Actually, yeah, it'd probably be world peace.
World peace.
Don't,
Okay, you ready?
don't do that.
It's the world is
Don't do
peace.
that.
Don't do that. Okay, should I not do that?
Who can sing?
Oh, we all can.
We all can.
Do you
All right.
have a song y'all can sing together?
Yes.
Oh, y'all
Are
already
we gonna
got
do
it. All right, man. I heard from the guys outside that y'all had something for me.
Yes, ma'am.
We sure do. All right, ready? Remy boys. Yeah.
Squad!
No, all right, we got to choose another song.
All right, Tylen, Dion, and Huda, thanks for being here with me today. Back to you, Coach.
Go.
Go.
Rangers.
So deftone.
Well, Coach, paper airplanes. Tylen Bynum put together a decent one. What'd you make of his skills?
Well, you know, you go to school to get those life skills, and you know, Tylen making paper airplanes, I guess that's going to serve him well down the road. But thankfully, he plays cornerback a whole lot better than he builds paper airplanes.
Well, this one's pretty sweet, by the way. That was some great flight right there. I'll tell you what, though, at this time in the show, let's kick things over to your weekly Little Men segment.
The Smithson Valley passing game is like other programs' passing game. We put a lot on our quarterback to decide not just how to throw the ball, but where to throw the ball, to whom to throw the ball. One of the phrases that we use here is called 2 high and 1 high reads. And sometimes when people hear that, well, what does that exactly mean? We ask our quarterback before the ball is snapped to identify how many safeties are high or playing deep. 2 of them or 1 of them. Let's go to the little men and maybe that'll make it a little more clear. If you look at the board, with the Rangers over here in white in a typical spread formation, the opponents in the dark jerseys, if our quarterback here in the shotgun was looking, he would identify this as what's known as a 2 high look. They have 2 safeties up high, higher than the rest of the defense, and he would make his reads accordingly because that is a 2 high configuration. So that would tell him which side of the field to throw the ball to. You contrast that with what we call a 1 high look, where maybe the defense reconfigures itself, drops the safety down, and takes the remaining safety and centers him up. Now he's in the middle of the field. That is simply a 1 high look. So our quarterback in that same play that we just mentioned might very well throw the ball to another part of the field, to another group of receivers. So 2 high throws wouldn't be the same as 1 high throws. Let's put the defense back in 2 highs, and we're going to call in Coach Jeff Shin, our wide receiver coach. And Coach Shin's going to take you through just a basic play in our offense and tell you the difference between where the ball would be thrown based on is it a 2 high look or a 1. So Coach Shin, take us through this.
All right, this is 2 high. So what our quarterback's going to be doing here, this is our 2 high side. In our play call, we have a 1 high side and a 2 high side. He has evaluated the defense. He has 2 high safeties, so we are going to work our 2 high side with a inside receiver flag route and an outside receiver post route, and we are picking on this safety on the 2 high. If he covers the post, we throw the flag. If he covers the flag, we throw the post. This backside safety, you might say, well, what about him? Well, we are canceling him with a seam route, and that safety has to cover. So picking on the front side safety. Now, let's look at the one high. Bring the receivers back. Josh gets up to the line, our quarterback, and they have rolled, and they are giving us a one high look. Now, Josh, our quarterback, has got a completely different read. Now that we have one high, we are still going to work our flag and our post. And on this side, we're still going to work our seam route and a comeback route. But now we are picking on the single safety. If the single safety works over to the post, we're going to throw the seam to this receiver. If the single safety works over to the seam, we will come to the post on this side. And that gives you the one high, two high read for our quarterbacks.
So theoretically, our quarterback can't be wrong. If it's too high, he'll work this side of the field. If it's one high, he's going to work both sides of the field based on the one high. We have probably 7 or 8 concepts that he reads like that. But when you ask him what is he reading, he will simply answer two high, one high, which nobody really knows what that means, but now you do.
Yeah.
Thanks to Coach Jeff Shin, I appreciate you doing that. Now let's go to the screen and watch this in action. As this play unfolds, you can see that our quarterback is going to get what we call a one high look. There's one safety in the middle of the field with a circle around him, and we're going to put a receiver on his right and on his left, and our quarterback is going to decide which guy gets the ball based on his reaction. Watch the play as it unfolds. Ball snapped. He breaks to the man on our right, leaving the guy on our left open down the hash mark. Ball's well thrown. We catch it on the 5 and take it in the end zone. You can actually see that play even better from behind. The safety, you can see him in the middle of the field right there. He came right into your screen. Quarterback's looking at him all the way. You can see him react to our right as we look at it, to that receiver, throw the ball behind him to the other receiver. That's a one high read. Go to the next play now. You see two high safeties in a playoff game from a year ago. Got a lot of graphics there, but you can see both safeties with the circles around them. Now we're going to put a guy down the hash to occupy this one safety, and then we're going to play the left-right game on the safety at the top of the screen. Watch the play as it unfolds. The safety reacts outside, so we throw the ball inside, catch the ball for a pretty sizable gain. Once again, let's look at it from the quarterback's vantage point from behind the offense. He recognizes two safeties, so he's looking to the left all the way. The left safety reacts outside, so we throw inside. That's a reaction of a two high read. Two high and one high reads. Thanks for the explanation, Coach Shin. And now let's go to Ranger Trivia.
This week in Rangers Trivia, Smithson Valley and Canyon have played each other 26 times, and Friday's game marks the 6th year in a row the two programs have faced one another. How many games has Smithson Valley won in the series? Is the answer A, 13, B, 15, or C, 10? The answer is B, 15, and dating back to 1996, the Rangers have won 12 in a row over the Cougars. 26 times, Coach. It's quite a rivalry you've had over the years with Canyon.
It is. You know, they played, of course, for years, back when Smithson Valley broke off from Canyon High School. Then there was a stretch there where we were what they're now calling 6A, and Canyon was not. So we went through a period there where we didn't play at all. And as you mentioned, this Friday will be the 6th year in a row that the series has resumed.
Well, we're going to preview matchup number 27 between these two schools after the break right here at Inside Rangers Football.
All of our games this year are big, none bigger than this week's game. So before we get started, let's get one thing
straight.
It doesn't count until your elbows are
straight. Get up under him and stand him up.
Straight. 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 Hey, Ron, we're glad you're here today. We're going to make your teeth perfectly.
Let me guess. Straight? Straight. Straight, of course, straight. Straight. Straight.
Rest, ice, compression, elevation, every day. Reagan, are you there? Hello? Are you in there?
Pemmicky, I'm sorry. I am so hungry. I need some Chicken Express.
Yeah, Chicken Express does sound good.
With our famous chicken tenders and the best sweet tea in Texas, if someone isn't paying attention to you, they're thinking about Chicken Express.
Welcome back to the Rangers locker room here at the Smithson Valley Fieldhouse for Inside Rangers Football. Brant Freeman with Coach Hill. We've recapped the game against Steele. Now a preview of the game coming up this Friday against the Canyon Cougars. And Coach, Canyon comes in, they're 2-2. They were the lone district team on a bye this past week. It's a coaching staff you're very familiar with, an improved football team from a year ago. What stands out about this Cougar team as you prepare for them on Friday?
Well, just how so solid that they are. You know, just defensively, they never miss a line. They're always in position. Offensively, they're always blocking everyone. There's never anyone turned loose. They do a nice job of getting the ball to their playmakers, the receiver, and both of those backs. And they're just a well-coached, talented football team. Unfortunately for us, but we'll have to be ready for them.
You mentioned the backs, Jonathan Rush, Isaac Lamar. They split the carries, not really focus on one more than the other. Christian Drake is a big playmaker at receiver for the Cougars. What's your overall scouting report on Canyon's offense?
Well, they do a nice job of running the ball with those backs that you mentioned, and then when you have to do things to maybe help get some stops with them, commit secondary guys to the run, then they get the Drake kid matched up one-on-one, and he's proven time and time again that he can make the big plays.
Other side of the football, you alluded to their defense. They're always, in alignment, very assignment sound. What are you expecting to see from them exactly defensively?
Well, I guess you never know. They did have a bye week, so maybe there's some wrinkles or surprises there. But I bet not too many. I bet they're solid and sound in what they do. They're going to be in a 4-down front. They're going to be in a 3-linebacker front, and by and large, you're going to know where they're at. Can you do anything about it? They're very quick, not extremely big. They put some speed on the field. Got a bunch of guys with linebacker mentality that can get to the football and make tackles.
What other factors do you feel like come into play in a game like this?
Well, as always, a kicking game and turnovers. We didn't do a great job with the turnovers, as you mentioned a week ago. And typically it boils down to that. If you win that statistical category, then a lot of times you're in a great shape to win the game. So we got to take care of the ball, and we got to get some more takeaways.
All right, well, Smithson Valley and Canyon just one of 3 district games this week. For a look at the other 2, here are this week's district picks with Ferris Orthodontics.
Thanks, guys. We're glad to be back. I'm Tyler Ferris.
And I'm Megan Hembry.
And this is your Week 6 Ferris Orthodontics Picks of the Week.
All right, let's line them up, guys.
My first pick of the week, Wagner Judson. Tough second week for both teams. I'm going with an upset here. I know Judson's powerful. I know they're always in it. But I'll take Wagner by a slim margin.
This week I have the Steele Knights versus the Clemon Buffaloes. Buffaloes are the larger animal, but I'm afraid that, those Knights, they may outshine those Buffaloes this week.
Week 6 game of the week, Smithson Valley Rangers hosting Canyon Cougars. Known for their red turf, don't even bother bringing it. It's all blue, all Smithson Valley Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.
Go Rangers.
Back to y'all.
So to recap, Dr. Hembry is picking Steele this week to beat Clemens, and Dr. Ferris is picking the Thunderbirds to beat the rival Rockets. And of course, they're both picking Smithson Valley.
Well, I like that. I don't know if I do or don't agree with the other picks, but I'm with them on that. And it should be a good Friday for football. All the district schools, the same ISD schools, are playing each other. 2 Judsons, the 2 Shirts, and of course the 2 Comals.
Yep, and the lone team on a bye this week is New Braunfels. Coach, looking forward to the game on Friday, which again you can catch live on Rangers Radio here on our YouTube channel from Bowick Productions. And with that, we're going to wrap up this week's show. It's Smithson Valley Canyon, 7:30 this Friday from Ranger Stadium. For Coach Hill, I'm Brant Freeman. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.